Hey, sis.
Hey, sis.
Hey, everyone. Hey, everyone. So, we're here again, and I'm your girl, Carmel,
Cathelina.
and we're here just talking about stuff. But today, specifically, we're talking about women, the women in our lives, and the support that we receive from them, and how it's crucial, and how it's mandatory, and how it's life-giving and supporting, and we would not be where we are today if we did not have the support of the women. What say you?
I completely agree.
Actually, it was your decision.
My
It
idea.
was your topic.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So what did you want to start off? Let's start off the conversation.
Okay. Well, so I was thinking, I was just in a, I was thinking, a, a few weeks ago when I was talking about my novel, The Box. I was talking about my novel.
Newly published, by the way.
Just published,
And we're still within this month.
within this month.
It
Yes.
was published July 2nd.
Yes, July
And
2nd.
here we are, July 30th.
Yes.
Oh, no, not July 30th.
The 20.
Today's the 28th. Okay. I'm a step ahead. Okay.
Yeah, so I was thinking that I feel like the book really was made, or I was able to publish it because of the support of other women. A lot of things from the beginning of this book, my talking about it with you and you helping me to flesh out ideas. The first editor I ever gave this novel to look at was a woman. Several women, friends, colleagues, and family read the novel in its beginning stages to offer me feedback. And I just feel like if it weren't for the feedback of these women and for them looking at the work and pushing me to move forward with it, I don't feel like I would have published it when I did, right? I joined an organization called the Women Fiction Writers Association. And it was just so empowering to have an organization full of women writers. And the interesting thing about it is that there are the reason why I if I'm forgive me if I'm getting this wrong, but one of the reasons that I believe that I remember that this organization came to be was because there are so many more women writers than there are men, and readers than there are men, but the publishing industry seems to be catered more towards men. So
Is that right?
don't quote me on that, but I think that that's a part of the reason. That's a part of what's happening in the publishing industry.
What's the name of this organization again?
Women's Fiction Writers Association, the WFWA.
Oh, so it was brought about to support women writers because it wasn't enough support for women because all the support was going towards men.
Yeah. And in it there are, now don't get me wrong, there are some men involved in Women's Fiction Writers Association because there are some men who write for women's fiction as well, right? But it's just an organization full of women who are helping each other, and some of them are experts at certain things, so they lend their expertise to women who are writing about those topics. You know what I mean? Through this organization, I was able to find my publishing coach, who was fantastic in helping me deal with all the little details that I had to understand in order to finally publish my book. Through her, I met my book designer, I met my book designer who designed the cover, the back cover, and the spine, right? But the person who took this photograph in the first place was none other than Carmel.
And you are the model.
And I'm the model. I'm the person in here. I'm here, right? So all of this is to say that women helping each other succeed, women helping each other move forward.
All part of the details.
All part of the details. And I'm such a firm believer in women helping each other and not being against each other, not looking at each other as the competition, as the person they need to fight with for the men, for the jobs, all this stuff. I feel that it's so important that we as women stick together. We're sisters,
Mm-hmm.
right? In this world in this, you know, man's world, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where we are defining who we are in this world, and we are, you know, coming out strong and saying, look at me, I'm a woman and I can do things.
Right.
But we can do these things and we can succeed by helping each other.
Right,
And I
right.
think that that's so important. And I wanted to mention that, you know, I was just reflecting on how this book came to be and all the people who really supported me in it. There were a few men who read the book, who liked it, who gave me suggestions. But all in all, this is a book about a woman, and it has to do with women's issues. So of course there are going to be women who support me.
Of course.
But the more women who support, the I guess not the better I'll be. The more women who support, the firmer, you know, we'll all stand. You know,
Okay.
I just feel that it's important that we support each other in that capacity.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree so much. So we were talking about a book that you read.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when I first started writing this book, I came across a book called Woman's Inhumanity to Woman. And this was way back when I was still working in publishing. And I read this book, and it was just so amazing how there's a history of women being inhumane to each other. You know, think about the classic stories of mothers-in-laws and daughters-in-laws and how they butt heads. How they clash. Why? Because of the love of a man.
Yeah, and they're kind of like trying to gain that, like who does he love more?
Yeah, right. His preference, right? And so, and that gave me some ideas to include in my novel. But I just thought it was just so sad that throughout history, you know, men have subjected us to the lesser role, subservient role, you know, to the weaker of the human species, and women are.
Have men really subjected us to that? Did we do it to ourselves? Like, if are we still talking about the book and what you got from the book?
Yeah.
Women's inhumanity. So, women's inhumanity to women is basically about how women behave towards each other.
Right.
But is the underlying cause a man?
I'm saying it right now. I don't remember if that was what was mentioned in the book.
So when you mentioned that and how women like are against each other, but you mentioned also the workplace as well as the fight for love of a man as he gets married, you know. And just the other day I was talking to somebody who was saying that she doesn't get along with her sister-in-law, and there's a clash because she's like kind of like almost jealous of the other woman, though her brother's wife is jealous of the relationship between the sister and the brother. And it's interesting because it's a different relationship.
Yeah.
Right? And everybody brings something different to the table.
Yeah.
And just because I presented myself in front of, be it the boardroom in office setting, does not mean that I'm here to take your job.
Right.
I'm here to bring to the table what I have to bring to the table, because you and I are both different. You're going to come with a different perspective, different experience, different skills, different tools, different ways to handle things, different ways to see things, and even execute things. And I'm going to come with a different set of all of those.
Right.
And basically, we don't have to be against each other.
Right.
We can actually help each other rise.
We can uplift each other.
Uplift each other. Where are your strengths? Where are your weaknesses? Let's work with that. And what's interesting is when you said that, and I've heard other women mention that, like there's always this classic fight against women, and you know, that the cat fights that are always presented in movies and in schools, where like look at Mean Girls, where everybody was kind of like against each other in some way, maybe always competing for the same man, etc., to see who wins. And I feel like throughout history and even in movies and the way stories are told, there always seems to be this kind of like this fight, like who's better than who. But interestingly enough, that's never been my experience. And I feel like even when we were younger, so mom had two sisters. Two sisters? Yeah.
Mhm.
So I've seen them. Okay. Mom had two sisters, so there was the three of them. And then they had all these cousins, and they were all so close.
Yeah.
The female cousins, the sisters, they were all so close. Every time Mom was on the phone, she was on the phone with one of her sisters. There was never any backstabbing. I
Yeah.
never heard any of the sisters talk about any other sisters of
Yeah.
the sisters or the cousins in a negative or
way.
derogatory way. We never heard stories about two of them like vying for the same man. Or dad's love and affection. Never. And they were so close, and they were always together, and there was always so much love. So that is my first experience with the support of a woman.
Right.
And they were there to support each other. Like they would, if we were even taking a trip out to see the cousins, they would be like, here, give this to my sister.
Yeah.
And they were always hooking each other up and saying, you know what, I just bought like 5 heads of corn. Let me send 3 of them to my sister.
Yeah.
Just as an example, they were always hooking each other up that way, looking out for each other.
That reminds me of how they're supporting each other. One time, our aunt called us on the phone and started, reprimanding us because we're causing our mother all this stress. And she's like, stop stressing your mother. I need my sister.
Right.
and that's another way of supporting her.
Support.
She called us directly.
Right.
To tell us to behave ourselves so that our mother wouldn't stress so much.
Right, because she needs her sister.
She needs her
to
sister.
make sure that her sister was well. And that was her way of saying, look, if you're not going to say this to the kids, I'm going to say this to the kids.
Yeah.
So then my point that I was getting to was the fact that, so that was my first experience with how women support women. And then for high school, my mom sent us to an all-girl Catholic high school where we developed some really lasting bonds and relationships with other young women, young ladies, young women, and that lasted decades. And that respect for other women and that upliftment and how we can help serve each other. And in that school, the only competition was really educational competition, right? Like not even competition. We were just all kind of, I want my good grades, you want your good grades. And we participated in extracurricular activities. I say all that to say that we developed some good, strong bonds. And then now as an adult, I feel like when I hear people say women are against each other, women don't get along, I've never been able to relate to that because in my life, we've always, and our cousins, right? I skipped that. Like we have this strong relationship with our female cousins, all of our cousins, really.
Yeah, we call our close cousins sister cousins because.
Right. So, and even with that in mind, I feel like that is not my story. I only know how to support women. And because of that, I feel like I've surrounded myself with a very important women organization groups. So you're part of this organization called what? Again?
Women's Fiction Writers Association.
And a couple of years ago, I had some amazing opportunities to be a part of other women organizations, starting with, I'm like my first attempt at being an author, not like you, I didn't write a whole novel. I literally have a chapter in a book, and I'm being told that makes me an author. So I'll take it. I'm an author, right? Although for a long time I was just like, I just have a chapter in a book. Girl, you have a chapter in a book, in a whole book. You have a chapter in a book. So that book was called Women of Color Who Boss Up. And what was beautiful about that is again, I had an opportunity to work with women. I had an opportunity to work with women. The person who headed this book up and actually published the book was a woman. And here I was dealing with other women of color and international women of color at that.
And so it was a network of women.
It was a new network of women that I was able to meet. Then I went on and I became another part of a very small part of another organization called Women of Impact International, and that's amazing. And I was actually voted, or not even voted, but picked and chosen to be the captain.
Excuse me.
The captain of my women's of the running team that I run with of the women. So I'm a women's running captain,
coach
captain,
right?
And I even work with women when it comes to coaching, CFID coaching, and me working with women and helping them with their food and sugar addiction. I just happen, just like what you were saying before, just like what you need some water.
Thank you.
Just like what you were saying before, we're women, so naturally we're going to attract women because we're relatable in that aspect, of course. But yeah, so I do attract a lot of women into my business, and I coach women, and even Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. Many of you know that I'm a part of the podcast Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. I just have this really innate kind of attraction, for lack of a better word. I just kind of gravitate towards other women and see how I can be of service. You okay, sis? What's going on?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
You need more water?
Yeah.
You want to take a minute?
Thank you. Yep.
How I can be of service, and also what knowledge and what I can learn from these women.
Yeah.
And it's that part. It's kind of like you're another woman, again, different skills, different tools, different perspectives. I want to learn from you. I want to get everything, all the knowledge I can from you, and then together we can rock this thing. Because because the real competition is the dudes. All right. I mean, we are definitely, like, women build businesses differently. Well, actually, Black women, the largest demographic of people to start businesses, but because we don't have the resources, because it's all really reserved for the men, we tend to not flourish and shine in that regard, right? So it's so important. Oh, and another couple of things. I was part of the Goldman Sachs Women in Business, and Goldman Sachs. I mean, I ended up in a room full of amazing women.
Oh gosh,
amazing women, all in different areas, of life, really doing their thing.
Yeah,
that
that was really inspiring.
It was so
to be
inspiring.
around all those women.
To be around all those women, all business minded, all entrepreneurs, and all really moving forward with whatever their craft, whatever their skills, whatever their talents were. It was absolutely incredible.
Again, introducing you to a new network of women.
New network of
who
women
you can tap into with whatever it is that you need. A photographer here, a baker, a cook here. You know, and then the support continues. Yeah,
absolutely. Because now I'm all about supporting those not only Black businesses but women businesses. And a couple of years ago, we did the women's empowerment event. It was a women's empowerment event that everybody came to, and we had women speakers and women in the audience.
That was amazing.
So that support, so when you said that definitely rings in my heart, like something that I'm here for. I'm here for it. I'm here to learn from women. I'm here to teach women, to coach women, to walk side by side with women, support, uplift, and be uplifted by and supported by. It's so important. So I love that you brought that up. I love that you wanted to speak on that today.
Yeah. I think so the question would be then, well, why is it so important? And again, the idea that we're lifting each other up. We are in solidarity with each other, fellowship, support, helping to empower each other. You know, there's so many women who, I don't want to say necessarily, there's so many women who have the talent, who have the business mindset to do certain things, but they're torn down by whomever, right?
Be it society, be it lack of support, lack of financial support.
But once we help each other, once we give each other these words of empowerment, these in our business, and we could just step on. We know that we can fall on each other's shoulders and help each other.
So we were with one of our sister cousins this weekend, and she says she wants somebody to believe in her and to be able to invest in her. And I thought that was powerful, that belief part, right? And I'm going to believe in anybody who has any type of conviction about what it is that they're passionate about.
Right, yes.
Right? So I'm going to believe in you. You think that you can do this. You know that you can do this. So you can do it. Right. And for some people, sometimes it takes a little focus, right? So sometimes it takes a little guidance. But to be able to reach out to whomever, so that we can, or to to a sister,
Mhm.
in order to reach out to another woman for that support, that guidance, whatever it is that we need, is crucial to our success in anything, entrepreneurship, or just work, just finding a job, anything.
Yeah.
Doing what we like to do. Maybe I
Yeah.
just want to paint. Maybe I just want to learn how to paint.
Right.
And we can always be in support of that.
Mm.
And in a day and age, I feel where women are in a place now where they feel like they have to be the homemaker, they have to have a job and a side business or a side hustle, or start or be an entrepreneur on the side, take care of the kids, take
that's
care
a lot.
of the parents as well as the children.
Mhm.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it gets to be so taxing on
It's very taxing, and we are in the habit of not taking care of self the way we need to, and taking care of everybody else. And it's something that I feel is being talked about more, and women are seeing the importance of self-care, and not self-care not meaning go get my nails done and go get my toes done, although I'm not opposed to it by any means.
No, neither am I.
Actually, it's quite important. But the self-care, like going to bed at a certain time, being able to set up boundaries and saying, no, I can't do that, and being able to support other women so that they can do that. Remember, it used to take a village. It still takes a village to raise a family. However, we don't have that village anymore. Where we could rely on our neighbors, we could rely on our family members, on our sisters, the other women's in a community. It takes a community. And right now, sometimes we have to actually go out and seek the community. Whereas before, the community, it just came along with the community. Now we have to seek these out, and which can make it great, because now we can seek out what we feel like we need the most. Like what I have with Black Coffee, Honey and Grits, BCHG. What I have with the Women Who Boss Up. What I have with Women of Impact International. What I have with my women's running group. Wherever I feel like I need support, I know that I could reach out to any one of these organizations. Oh, and I left out one. Which one are we doing in October?
Oh, the Haitian Ladies Network. So it seems, so every year, the Haitian Ladies Network, they host an entire weekend called the Haitian Ladies Weekend, and we went for the first time last year, and it was just an amazing energy. It was just all these women getting together from different walks of life, from different areas of industry. I mean, it was just,
and from all parts of the world. That part.
Yes.
So us as Haitian Americans, and like our parents, we're first generation Haitian American. Our parents are from Haiti, and so here we were meeting Haitians like from Germany, and they're Haitian. Their parents are from Haiti, and all over the world, all over the United States, Canada, Africa, every place. They were from everywhere, and that was exciting. And again, that added to our list of our network, a whole new network of people, and a group of women that we have a different type of bond.
Yeah, and it's amazing energy in that you don't even have to talk to these women necessarily, but just being in a room full of all these women just gives you this certain energy that, wow, this is a part of me. I'm a part of this, and I can do anything. And so you leave that weekend feeling empowered, feeling like, okay, how can I best capitalize on this energy that I'm feeling, on these people that I've met, on what I've learned, and again, you're tapping into a whole new network.
Yeah, and I can imagine that's what sororities are. Like that's what they offer people too. We've never done that, but yeah, I hear people talk about the sororities, and just like that. It's a network, it's a family, it's a sisterhood, where you know that you can get the support and the tools that you need. So basically, that's what we wanted to talk about today. I think it's a good topic, sis. What else did you want to talk about with regards to that?
I can't think of. There was something else that I wanted to say. Oh, okay. So when it came to the publication of my novel, like I said before, this is women's fiction, right? So it has my main character is female. And of course, it's going to be dealing with women's issues, so many women are going to be reading it as opposed to men. But I have to say that the women who did show up to my book launch party, it was, I'm going to say 98% women. There were like 3 men, which was fantastic. We love the men, we do. But the women who showed up, yes, they showed up for me because they don't know the story necessarily. They showed up because, in other words, they came because they wanted to support another woman, right? They know that I did this thing. They don't know how I write. They don't know. They didn't know if they were gonna open this book and be like, did she actually, take a writing course? They don't know anything about the book. They came for me. They came to support me, and that felt.
And your important message.
And my important message. That's true. The message of, my main character suffers with depression, and in the novel, she does go through a male figure, her love interest, who helps her to understand herself through his paintings, not necessarily directly. And I didn't want to make it so that the man comes in and saves her.
Yeah.
Didn't want that. She saves herself, trust. But the thing is that she opened herself to the love of a man. She opened herself to new experiences, and and that helped her to open herself up to her sister, who she was clashing with. And I wanted to show that even though we do clash with other women, and even if it's family, we can come to terms and we can come together. And this main character who is suffering with depression, and she's not the only one who's suffering with it in the novel, she is able to finally open her eyes to what is in front of her. She finally understands her mother, who she also clashed with. And then she was able to understand her mother, understand her sister, and then gain a better understanding of herself. When we look to other women, when we understand other women and stop fighting them and stop looking at them like, oh, she thinks she's cute. When we walk in each other's shoes, we don't even have to walk in each other's shoes. Just understand what other women are going through. Mm-hmm. We can see a similarity there. Mm-hmm. And then we can learn to better appreciate their situation while we better understand ourselves. Yes. And that's important. That's important.
That is important. Stop thinking that everybody's out to get your man.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I used to do it too. If I see I did both. I used to see beautiful women, maybe a woman with beautiful hair. I used to, even if I didn't know her, oh, I love your hair today. And they appreciated that. But at the same token, if there was a woman in the office who wasn't that friendly with me, I'd be like, yeah, she thinks she's cute. I don't really like her or whatever. She got an attitude. Like, why is all that necessary? If I feel that she doesn't like me very much, leave her alone or approach her. Hi, how you doing? I like your shoes today, something like that. And I found
because you never know what other people are going through.
You never know what other people are going through. Mm-hmm. Never. Just be nice. Just be courteous, or don't say anything at all, or keep it moving. But we don't know what anybody else is going through, and there really is no. It takes more energy to be annoyed and angry with other people than it does to be nice.
So at least embrace them.
Embrace them. If there's somebody that you don't really get along with in your office, and that's another woman. I mean, especially in an office setting where there were probably like 2 or 3 women, get together. Yeah. You guys need to come together, lift each other up, and see what you can do in this male-dominated office.
Oh my goodness, you say that. And the classic movie that I think about is 9 to 5.
9 to 5. I just thought about that too.
And I love that. And again, that was another example of me seeing how women really like uplifted each other. Yes. But it starts off where there's a little bit of a clash between the women. Yes. Especially Dolly Parton's character. Yeah. And they all get together and they really make something amazing, not only for themselves, but for all the women in the company that they work for.
For their local community.
For their local community.
Like, we get together and we help each other. We not only do we help each other, we help other people.
9 to 5. If you guys have not seen it, do yourself a favor, because the message in there was just so it was so encouraging and positive. And this movie was what, back in the 70s?
Yeah, 80s? I think it was in the 70s. Working 9 to 5 with Dolly Parton, Jane Fonda, and Lily Tomlin, I think. Yeah. And if anything, it will make you laugh. But there is a powerful message for women in it.
Yeah. It's so good, so good. And I also wanted to another thing that I've been a part of was the menopause mystique. So
Yes.
earlier this year, I was marketing the menopause mystique, where I was actually speaking to women and also learning from them, and also teaching about the symptoms and what happens during the menopause years, perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. And that was enlightening because I learned a lot.
Mhm.
And I feel like a lot was disclosed during that forum. I had 5 speakers, and that's another way for us to uplift, because I feel like this is some menopause. It's being talked about so much more in these days than it ever has, but it's still not being spoken about enough, I feel. And also all the intricacies, all the symptoms that go on. People associate menopause with hot flashes, and that's it. But there's so much more to it, and there's so many more symptoms that we go through. You know, the brain fog, the forgetfulness, like forgetting certain words, and also things that happen to us physically, things that happen to us mentally, emotionally, all these things that go on. So I'm here for that too. I want to learn more about it. I want to support, and even with working with people again in guiding them to a whole food plant-based lifestyle in order to combat their food and sugar addictions, or even the chronic conditions that come along with it, like diabetes, hypertension, liver disease, and all of those types of conditions that come along with food and sugar. Even in that, I'm coming up with these women because of our age. We're attracting, not only are we attracting women like we spoke about, but we're attracting women that are more our age. So in our age, that's what we're dealing with. So I'm just here for the support in every which way that I can, because I'm here to learn in every which way that I can, and to continue to bring value to my sisters, continue to bring value to other women, and every woman that crosses my path, I want to learn from or teach. Right? I just think it's an amazing thing, and I love that we, like our mother and our aunts showed that to us from birth. Whereas the other stuff, the competition, I never understood.
Yeah. I don't ever recall a time when the aunts and our mother ever had a falling out. They probably most likely did, because that's human nature. But the fact that we never saw it shows that they work through it because of the love and support that they have for each other. And that's what we all need. We need to work through it. We will have setbacks and fallouts and all that, but let's get through it. Let's find a way to work through it.
100%. All right, I think we said our piece, right? And it's nothing about men keeping us down. Nothing about that. Nothing about the negativity that I didn't want to highlight the negativity that women can bring to other women. Just wanted to really, really talk about the fact that there are women like us, because again, there are so many different organizations, and there's so many different ways for us to support other women. So have at it. Go find an organization that you can be a part of to support and learn from.
And I was gonna say, and if you can, like in the comments section, like let us know what some of these organizations are, so that other people viewing this video can tap into these organizations. I've mentioned the Women's Fiction Writers Association. We mentioned the Haitian Ladies Network. If I think of any more, I'm gonna put it down in the comment section, just so that we can start looking into these things and looking to where we can find how we can better use our strengths to help others. Absolutely.
For sure. I love that. So let us know in the comments what organizations you know about, what organizations that you're a part of, and so that this will be a nice little resource for folks. So with that said, I think we're good to say goodbye.
I think so too.
Except, this was an amazing conversation. Thanks for bringing it up, sis. And we thanks for making time so that we can do this. We want to start coming up with a regular cadence so that you know when to look for us here on YouTube and on Facebook. And I also wanted to mention that this is a plug. This is a complete plug. On August 11th, coming up, I am starting my new cohort. Now, I already have the amount, like seats are just about full. I'm just looking for like 2 more people. 2 more seats need to be filled before I'm complete and satisfied with this cohort. That's it. So definitely the information is in the link in the show notes, bio, comments, whatever you want to call it. Definitely take a look there to see how you could reach out to me, and we'll have a conversation. You might not know what exactly it all entails. Well, I guide individuals through a whole food, plant-based lifestyle in order to combat food and sugar addiction or whatever chronic conditions that come along with it. It's a 6-week course. So it's a crash course where I teach you different ways, I teach you about the plant-based lifestyle, how crucial it is to healing ourselves with regards to chronic conditions and being addicted to sugar, especially sugar, guys. And also, I've had people have so much success, lose 20, 30 pounds in the course of 6 weeks. And all my testimonials are on this YouTube channel, so check them out. I'll put a link to my testimonials here for you to see in the show notes. But yeah, check it out. If you have any reservations or if you don't know if this might be for you, contact me or email me. All my information is all over the place, very, very easy to find. And I'll be happy to schedule some time and have a conversation with you. And you could even apply, and there's even my landing page. You could check it all out before you reach out to me. You could check it all out before you make any decision to move any further. But hurry up, don't delay. I want to sound like a commercial because I only have 2 seats left, and the next cohort starts August 11th. And sister, what about you? What do you want to tell the good folks?
I wanted to plug my novel, The Box, by Cathelina. It was published on July 2nd. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it on barnesandnoble.com, bookshop.org, and other digital stores. And if you want an autographed copy of it, you can also go to my Instagram account, which is linked. No, this is not. It's not linked here.
On the Instagram account, we can put the link.
Okay,
here.
we can put the link here. Yeah, you can go to my Instagram account. On the top, you click. You have all your purchasing options there. If you want an autographed copy, that's the link is there for that as well.
Yep, that's it. So with that, we're gonna say ciao, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye. It's still recording. Hold on. End.